I'm making this video to tell you a joke which I find very funny, and I just had to share it with you, and to thank a whole lot of you for some astounding generosity. So you can regard the joke as my thank you to you. Okay, I'm Granniopteryx. So the video I made about the World Health Organization trying to take over the world, I didn't try to monetize it on YouTube, which is where most of my income comes from. I mean, I am monetized on Rumble, and I think I've earned about $6 in all the time I've been with Rumble so far, because I don't have that much of a distribution there. I'm not complaining, I'm just stating facts. But there are some things I talk about that I know YouTube won't like, and I still have to talk about them. So that's why I told you I wasn't monetizing it and saying, well, would you mind contributing if you feel that way inclined? And I was astonished at the generosity of so many people. I really didn't expect that. And yeah, what can I say? Humbled, I suppose. And of course, gratified. Yeah, shoes for the horse, you know. Right, so that's one thing. So I saw this amusing incident that was reported in the Daily Telegraph by a psychiatrist who was writing an article called "My Patient Thinks He's a Werewolf, 10 Years as an NHS Psychiatrist." And in the article, he makes the point that a lot of people think psychiatric illness is less of a problem than physical illness. And I understand why people think that way, but I know of, well, I have personal experience of 2 cases of serious psychiatric illness. And in one of them, a whole family was almost, well, has been ripped apart by that psychiatric illness, and that will have long-term effects. And then in another one, it was a young man who died quite young. I mean, he was in his 20s, I think, certainly no more than his early 30s. And he'd had serious psychiatric problems for years. I suppose since teenagehood, that's usually when this sort of thing seems to crop up. And it was a tremendous strain on his family, of course, but he died, I suppose. There was some natural cause, but I am assuming that the drugs he had to take to control the illness weren't doing him that much good either. So I know that psychiatric illness can be devastating in many ways. And as I think I might have mentioned, but this isn't a psychiatric illness, it's a physical illness that has psychiatric effects. And my own mother got Lewy body dementia, and she saw things, she had hallucinations and all, which is a characteristic of psychiatric problems. And it was just dreadful watching her suffering like that. So, so that's the point he's making, is that psychiatric illness is not as trivial as some people seem to think, although in some situations it does have that coloration. And this is the story he tells. All right, and his name is Benji Waterhouse. Yep. And he tells a story as follows. I was once on an aeroplane when the call went out about a medical emergency. It being the only time since leaving medical school that this had actually happened, I wasn't going to miss my chance to shine. "Let me through, I'm a doctor," I said, elbowing my way past a gathering crowd, feeling like a hero in a film. A pink-faced Good Samaritan with steamed-up glasses, already doing CPR on the body in the aisle. looked me up and down and asked, "What type of doctor?" This was clearly a more competitive gig than I'd anticipated. I told him I was a psychiatrist. He raised an eyebrow, turned back to the figure and muttered, "Well, I'm an emergency physician. Yes, so maybe if I manage to restart his heart, then you can ask him about his childhood." Okay, thank you all. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.